Please, Mr. Nick Moran. Good morning. Nice to see you again. He is, of course, one of our most charismatic screen actors. The Lock, Stock and Harry Potter star has also carved out a name for himself as a film director. His 2008 biopic and the 60s record producer Joe Lee, Telstar, won rave reviews, and I believe that is what led to your latest project. Is that right?
Well, in a way, I'm directing a play written by Irvine Welsh, which is great. This is the first play that he's written. It's not an adaptation of one of his books, and it's hilarious. But it came about because Irvine has written a biography of Alan McGee, the guy that started Creation Records, and all this sort of Oasis and Jesus and Mary Chain, like chaos and anarchy that led to the biggest independent record company ever. That, and everyone around it was mad. So Irvine's written this very, very good script about that, and I got attached as a director because Irvine and his writing partner Dean Cavanagh were such fans of Telstar. So I got attached to do this movie, and the sort of slow glacial pace that film financing works in the UK, while we're hanging around waiting for the grass to green and hell to freeze over before the funding drops for this film to start. He said, I've written this play, and he pulled out this absolutely hilarious, brilliant one-act sort of four-handed play, which I very quickly organised a read-through of, and we have the premiere at the Assembly Rooms at Edinburgh Festival this year. So
it's called Performers.
It is, and it's. Now you're probably one of the, but not everyone will get this. You'll get this, but because you're counterculture dudes. But there's a classic film called Performance, directed by Donald Cammell, which stars Mick Jagger and James Fox, and is this sort of seminal '60s mismatched sort of cult movie where a gangster who falls foul of his own crowd ends up hiding out in a big house in Powers Square, which is owned by a recluse rock star, which is Mick Jagger. And you have this sort of world of sort of gangsters meets worlds of rock stars in this really weird, strange, cult movie. But what Donald Cammell did is that in his sort of weird, strange '60s self-indulgent art house-ness, he decided that he wanted to employ real gangsters to play the gangsters within the film. And the first half of the film is phenomenal. But people like John Bindon and Billy Murray and Johnny Shannon, all these guys actually had a bit of form. Yeah. So our play is two gangsters waiting in a casting director's room, waiting to audition for Donald Campbell for roles in this film. So it's sort of like Waiting for Godot, but with these two guys talking about some robberies they've done and things. And then Donald Campbell's assistant turns up and tries to get them to strip naked for the screen test, and it doesn't go well. So,
I mean, I've still never known the truth about film, because the film there were.
You had to be high to watch it.
Everybody in the film was high. They're all high and all getting into orgies. Any of that in the play?
Oh, well, that's the whole idea. Is that Donald Campbell's little acolyte bursts in and starts talking about Borges and Francis Bacon and these sort of concepts that are way beyond the pay grade of these sort of debt collectors and villains. But it is about it is about getting them to strip naked, because it is we're exploring man's dualism. And it's great.
Not just man's jewels.
There's this thing about talking about dualism and Borges, and there's this great line. What's all that bum fluffery got to do with this picture? It's that sort of.
You're just directing. You're not in it.
No. I'm just doing.
Did you fancy?
No, the guys. I think we got a picture of the guys. I've got Perry Benson and George Rossi who are in it, and they're just hilarious. I mean, it's just. You shouldn't be allowed to have this much fun, And if it's as good as it's shaping up to be, then
Do you have to watch the original movie in order to get what you're doing?
Well, I think hopefully a lot of people won't know about Performance, but they'll know that this, at the end of the play, you'll know this film existed, it happened, and these two guys weren't in it. That's because it doesn't really matter. But the point is that they turn up to audition for this. There's good coin in this film, So they turn up to audition for a film, and whether it's the fact that that it might be Zulu, it could be any sort of '60s movie at the time, that they slowly realise that, is this a foreign picture? Is this a porno? So because that idea that they're being they're auditioning for a high art film made by a very sort of self-important artist is not what they expected when they turned up. It's a great premise, and the pair of them have done wonders with the script. It's really, really funny, and I've got a great cast who know the authenticity of it. They can really hit the gags and hit the sort of rhythm of it.